Hello everyone, this is Redbirds once again. I'm making a short video. This is a response to Greg Vegas on the Dow Jones and stuff. I really enjoy watching his videos, and he talks a lot about the stock market, economy, things like that. And that's important. I think that's why some of us are, our preppers, is because we worry about our finances, and especially if there's a disaster. Particularly, Greg had made a lot of comments about buying gold and silver in the stock market, and watch what you buy in commodities. Um, my big thing is, I have money in the stock market, and he's right. How come last year November the Dow Jones is down to 10,300 roughly, and today exactly it's 12,900 and something, but a few weeks ago it was 13,300. How did we inflate? Did the economy get better? No. Is the employment opportunities there? Of course not. Makes a lot of really valid points. The government is manipulating the stock market, very much so. I voted for Obama. I'm not necessarily saying it's really all his fault and stuff like that, but the stock market is being manipulated. Um, if you have extra money, what do you want to do with it? Greg suggests a lot in silver. I'm going to start with gold, though. I'm going to start with gold first. I wouldn't buy any gold, but this is only my perspective. It could be right or wrong. It's only my opinion. Gold, a few months ago, last fall, was up $1,820, and today it's at $1,620. If you bought 1 ounce of gold, that would have been about $200 loss on that 1 ounce. And not only that, if we go in the SHTF scenario, how are you going to split up an ounce of gold? How are you going to carve it up and give it to somebody? If somebody was hungry enough, I might trade a couple cans of corned beef hash or something like that to get an ounce. But to me, it's not reasonable to think that most people can buy gold. I have a lot of stocks out there in the stock market. I watch stock market throughout the day. I read all the reports. Like Greg says, who is really in control of their own financial being? I am. Largely because I remember about 21 years ago when I used to be homeless. But by the grace of God, things, I've turned my life around. But I have a lot of stocks out there. Last November, Ann Barnhart's, she was a day trader, a big company. She does it for, she owned, she's a CEO, and she sent out emails to everybody telling everybody then in November to sell. Along with Peter Schiff, Gerald Salente, and everybody's telling us to buy silver, buy gold. Like Greg said, silver is probably one of the better things to buy. And the reason is even if you took a loss, it's about $50 an ounce. If you take a loss of 1% today, what's a nickel, or what's 50 cents? Per ounce you have. The only drawback is, how do you get silver? I wouldn't purchase anything unless I could physically hold on to it right in front of me, right in my hands. All right. I like to go to gun shows and flea markets, and there's all sorts of Mercury dimes, Liberty nickels, Liberty quarters, $half silver dollars. Only drawback with like the silver dollars is they can range anywhere between $14 to $36. Most of them are going to be, depending where, what kind of condition the coin is. It could be $28, and that's a significant amount for a piece of silver, and them are the things I think about. But as he said, I've gotten lately. I've received a few emails from different people from England and Scotland. Like I was told over the weekend from them, is there's a media blackout. England is doing way worse than we can imagine, and I have cousins that live in England. Actually, first cousins, and they're telling me is that a lot of people are stocking up for food there. they're doing food storage. So it was kind of a unique conversation I had. I think it was in November or December when I was at my father's house. But somebody had asked me, because they watch these them doomsday prepper things on show. I watched them too. Half of them are ridiculous. But, well, Doug, if I would, if something's going to happen, should I just go out there and max out my credit cards? No. Be responsible. Live within your means. Don't take out loans that you absolutely don't need. If your bank would fall, you're gonna be in hurt. You'd be in a hurt locker, and it's gonna really, really hurt you. Don't borrow money from people. Don't go to these payday loans or PayPal things that you can just go to their offices and they write you a $250 to $500 check. Live within your means. Don't overindulge in alcohol or drugs or anything like that either. It's an easy way to blow money. Make sure you make your car payments, house payments, rent, pay your mortgage, electric bills, water bills, pay all your bills. For instance, later in this week or early next week, I'll be paying my electric bill and all that stuff like a year up to the end of the year. And that's generally what I do every year. I don't wait until it builds up, but I pay way ahead. Because I make sure I'd rather pay bills and all that stuff ahead of time as long as I have the extra money. Another thing you might want to do with this, we're going to go into a hyperinflation by summer. I seen it at the Pick and Save stores right here in Wisconsin. I seen the refrigerators sections at the stores literally without food, and I see a lot of canned foods. Gosh, can you see? I can't see for a small can of chicken noodle, $1.89 now. We're going to see inflation go way, way up. One of the bigger things I like to do, I continue to pour money in the stocks no matter what I'm going to do, but I also keep extra cash in the bank and at home in case something does happen. Always keep a full gas tank and keep an extra couple extra gallons of gas and stuff like that in your garage. Make sure you have spare gas. But food storage is very, very important. The reason I'm saying food storage is important is because there might be a time where we have to sacrifice. We don't have enough money for gas if we buy all our groceries. We might have to dig into our groceries so we get a little bit more gas. I like to buy food now, a lot of canned foods, and by next week I'll have at least 2 to 3 years worth of food stored up. But that's why we have food storage. To help us, guide us along, especially during the hard times. When things are going good, make sure we pay our bills ahead of time, whether it's our rent, whether it's our electric bill or water. Make sure things get paid ahead of time. So when you go through that hard time, it eases a lot more. There's a lot of people out there that want to buy silver and gold. There's tons of people out there. I don't know if, silver is one thing I would invest in. I would watch gold. Energy stocks are important. So if you know what energy company, let's say like in Wisconsin, we have Alliant Energy, and that's one of my stocks. I would definitely invest in something like that because energy prices, electric bills keep going up. And the same thing with petroleum and stuff. And that's investing money in that way. I'm definitely not an analyst. I only know what affects me, and I do watch everything else. But it wouldn't be bad to invest in oil companies, especially when these. If we would have invested in the oil back in 1998 when gas was $1 a gallon, just think about all the money we could have had now. At $3.84 a gallon. That's another thing. Is gas prices going to go down? Of course not. Why are they down? Why do they go from $3.97 down to like $3.84? It's because the United States strategic reserves, they tapped into it. The government did. Because they're doing it to pacify the population, and that is why we're selling some to France and we're selling it to England, and we're making sure that Greece has it, is because the oil embargoes Iran placed on them 3 countries. They're doing it to pacify people. But one of my big things is make sure that always keep yourself supplied. if something would happen, you do not want to be one of them people that just have to go to the store. Gee, I need this, I need that because I don't have it. I better get it now because I might not have time later. I'm a history buff. That's one of the things I'm in school. I'm going to school to be a pastor, and the other half, all my electives were history. One of the classes I had, U.S. history, I did a big article on Great Depression. And look at what happened October 25th, 1929. People went to work at 8 o'clock in the morning. Nothing's happening. They're all happy and excited. Nobody suspected nothing. 11 o'clock in the morning, people were jumping out windows. Right now we are at the end game, like Greg said, is because we are right where they're at in August, September of 1929. The Dow Jones has been inflated big time. That is why, pay attention to stock markets. I don't prep just because I watch Doomsday Preppers or anything, or all these other unique websites. I prep is because I've seen in my own life things fall apart. But we are there where we're going to go into a depression. Even if it's a hyperinflation, that's still a depression, is because people, whether there's food or not, you can't afford it. But make sure your bills get paid, your rent, your electric, water. Don't let yourself fall behind. Catching up can be really, really hard. Okay. Well, this is Redbirds out. I want to say thank you for all my subscribers and people that watch this. Any other ideas and stuff, hey, subscribe to me. And I like to talk. I like to talk more on a personal basis on the telephone. Thank you.